You know, as a parent, you just want your child to be happy. But this child of mine, Trinidad and Tobago, has had some real characters for partners. UNC and PNM, Lord. Each one come with big promises. Some sweet talkers, some big spenders, but plenty drama too. You just try to stay out of your child business for the most part, you know. But when you see the same cycles, same stress, same mama guy, sometimes you have to ask. So how this one treating you this rounds? Let's take a look at what went on since the year 2000. UNC was the kind of partner that liked to flash big dreams. At the turn of the century, Panday was in power and things started off nice. GDP jumped from TT 51.3 billion to TT 55 billion in 1 year. That's a 5.2% growth rate. Oil prices were up, so we had money. But unemployment was still high at 11.5% and inflation 4.6%. So your paycheck wasn't really stretching far. Then from 2010 to 2015, Kamla come in and say, I go take care of you. GDP rose from TT 141 billion to TT 190 billion. About 2.5% growth a year. Unemployment dropped to 3%. That's major. She pushed social programs, more public sector jobs, baby-friendly hospitals, and free school books. Plus, repo and lending rates went up in 2014 and 2015, which meant banks were pulling in more interest income. More loans, higher rates, more profits. But it wasn't all sunshine, you know. Inflation went up, averaging 6.7%, worse than even Jamaica. Groceries raised, bills raised, and to fund it all, we borrowed more. Debt hit 26.4% of GDP. Now they're back in 2025 with a 56.9 vote win, promising 50,000 jobs, 10% wage increases, and VAT-free local produce. Same kind of promises, but whether they can deliver, well, that's what we're waiting to see. Under the UNC, public servants got pay raises. Private companies like Ansamakal did real good. Revenue grew from TT 1.8 billion to TT 7.4 billion. But political elites and connected contractors, they had it the best, eating plenty of government projects. PNM on the other hand, that was the one who bust money on big projects. From 2002 to 2009 under Manning, LNG exports were pumping. GDP fly from TT 56 billion to TT 175 billion. That's 8% growth per year. Massive. That was until oil and gas prices collapsed in 2009. Unemployment dropped to 4.6% during this tenure, but inflation reached a painful 12% in 2008. Everything was expensive, even China. Then Rowley stepped in during hard times. From 2016 to 2024, GDP only grew by 0.9%. In 2020 alone, the economy shrank by 8.9%. COVID mashed we up bad, but inflation cooled down to 0.3% in 2024, best in the region. Debt, on the other hand, piled up. Public debt reached 64.5% of GDP. That's more than double what UNC had in 2015. Under the PNM, energy giants like BPTT and Shell made bank. Public servants got steady pay. Big names like Republic Holdings reached TT 119 billion in assets. And again, political elites and contractors from UNICOT got their cut. So who's better? UNC was big on spending for social programs, job, healthcare, education, but they struggled with inflation and crime. PNM had better GDP under Manning and low inflation under Rowley, but crime reached crisis levels. 576 murders in 2023, debt ballooned too, and rural communities still get left behind. Both sides had wins and misses. One game they hit them for 6, but the next they out for duck. But plenty people still asking, why housing still unaffordable? Why utilities shaky outside of town? Why the murder rate still feeling like we're in a war? Most times the money is moving, but not always reaching the people who need it most. Trinbago, you're big now. I can't tell you who to be with, but I just hope you're watching things clear this time. Look beyond who could whine best on our platform or promise a hamper. Ask, who actually going to fix the water? Who going to stop the murders? Who care about the small man? Because this is more than politics. This is your future. And I just hope you know what you're doing this time around. Because real talk, change in this country, not easy. We trapped in old systems, oil dependency, and political games. But if you keep settling, the cycle will keep spinning. And Trinidad and Tobago will keep getting the same kind of love, just with different music. If you feel like TNT could do better, should do better, start by asking the real questions. Share this with somebody who's still stuck in party talk, and let me start talking about performance, not promises. Drop a comment saying where you're from and what you think is the most important act of love for this run.